Hello there, everybody. I'm going to adjust my mic volume down a little bit more because I recently turned it up in my system settings. Yeah, it was going to be louder than it normally is. But yes, hello there, everyone. This is No Name Moment 7. Hello there, everyone. This is No Name Moment 7 Spore. Screwed that up. And today, I return with some more Rule the Waves 2. I also apologize to everyone who has been watching on both Twitch and YouTube. I had a rules thing up here. That rules thing is for the China save, it's not for this save. Um, and I also moved it a little bit over here because I thought that would be a better location to see stuff in. It turns out it's not because it actually does obscure the chat box. Admittedly, though, I might actually have the chat box a little too big. I don't know. I'll leave the chat box kinda there, but I should probably try to adjust the chat box size down here soon now that I'm on 1080. You know what? I will. Smaller chat box now. I think will be better. So I'm not adjusting the rectangle yet. I'll probably adjust that sometime later. And now I am trying to keep the chat box kind of to the side of some of the information. But yes, we are back with the Rule the Waves 2. We just finished a war with Germany. It was definitely not the best war I've been a part of. Not the best war I fought. We wound up losing the carriers Inflexible, Audacious, Incomparable, and Glorious. Which I won't lie, hurt a lot. We also lost the CL Kim, or Kamloops, the CL Camrose of the Surrey class. Actually, the second Camrose to be sunk. Hello, low deck, or below deck. Well, welcome back to the live stream. How's it going? Yeah, so we lost Camrose, we lost Kamloops. Camrose, unfortunately, one of her turrets detonated in the battle, and that caused her to sink. And Kamloops, on the other hand, unfortunately burned down during the battle, but she was able to kill 2 heavy cruisers before she went down. So good job on Kamloops. Camrose did definitely do damage, but couldn't really help flash firing. Okay, you guess? Okay, that's good. Unfortunately, we also lost the battlecruiser Haida, and Yukon was rebuilt into a battleship and then lost. Both losses were extremely hard to prevent. Haida was torpedoed and bombed multiple times, and it just took away all her flotation. Yukon took multiple torpedoes, got her flotation under control, and then a submarine sank her after the battle. In the meantime, we did knock out one German battleship. I think Brandenburg was destroyed in air attacks. Yeah. And then we managed to sink these 3 Mackinson-class battlecruisers. Germany did have one more Hindenburg-class battlecruiser, but they apparently scrapped it before the war ended. We also did manage to take out the CVs Graf Zeppelin and Europa, as well as a number of heavy cruisers. And if I were to guess how many heavy cruisers, I suspect we took out at least 5, probably 6 or 7. Some of these battlecruisers were sunk in different wars, which is why there's more than 6 to 7 here. In terms of light cruisers, we might have gotten 1 or 2. Yeah, we definitely got at least Arcona, but I don't think we got a second one. Okay. So that is very, very much the situation. Yeah, we wouldn't have gotten those old ones. And now that the war is over, we are massively in debt. So I've stopped training. That should hopefully bring down the monthly balance. One thing we need to do is, from air groups, we definitely need to mess with them. Get rid of a bunch. So right now, Tsingtao has a bunch of aircraft. Tsingtao does not need aircraft. Neither does Punapi, because we're not going to war with Japan yet. Neither does Truk. Neither does Saipan. And neither does Peleliu, or Pelelau. As much as I like these guys, I'm probably going to disband all the land airbase aircraft for the moment, and then keep some of the carrier train ones in reserve. So, in terms of CVLs, I'm going to keep one of the CVL divisions. That'll probably be the planes on Montrose. Will be moved to reserve. Wait. Seriously. Moved? What? Okay. This is a glitch. So I can't drag multiple air units to reserve like I used to be able to. Illustrious is... Let's see. Yeah, it's only one at a time. For whatever stupid reason. Yeah, this is going to make me not want to reserve aircraft anymore. So I can disband that squadron, I can disband this squadron. Honestly, I'm just going to disband what's on Formidable and Invincible. Indomitable's squadron will be moved if I can do it. Come on. Thank you. And just keep moving them over to reserve. And then all the other air squadrons will be disbanded because, yeah, it turns out that I can't mass drag stuff to reserve anymore for whatever stupid reason. Alright, so now we're at the point where we can actually sustain the loss we're going to take. Which is fine. Getting that aircraft maintenance budget down will really help. I'm going to stop spying on Britain and America, because I don't want to go to war. Well, actually, no, I'll keep it on America. I'll stop it on Britain, because I want to continue building ships in Britain. Actually, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep it on low for each of them right now, and then we'll see which ones we are building ships in. I know we often refit ships in Britain. We have 4 destroyers about to complete a rebuild. And then outside of that, we have 3 ships currently building: the heavy cruiser Ottawa, as well as 2 carriers of the Furious class. These are better armored carriers rather than the older unarmored designs, which yeah, kind of burnt down. One thing I also want to look at is aircraft types before I move on, and start obsoleting stuff. So the right D here is an amazing dive bomber with that massive bomb load. Good speed, good reliability. Range is pretty strong, 258. 3 firepower, 9 maneuverability, 8 toughness. So if we look at the other dive bombers, the Silver Star B has average reliability. It does have a light bomb, better light bomb than the right D, but its medium and heavy bombs are kind of garbage. And the Falcon B is slightly faster than the Silver Star B, but and slightly longer range, but still has similar issues and doesn't quite have the maneuverability or toughness, and also has poor reliability. I think it is apparent that these 2 planes need to be obsoleted for the right D, and the Vickers Wapiti, of course, also has to be obsoleted. It's just way too old. So, in terms of dive bomber, we're going to fully commit to the de Havilland right D for the moment. In terms of fighter, we only have 2 in service, the Fawn B and the Polaris B. So the Fawn B has firepower 3, maneuverability. Okay, there's advantages to both aircraft. I think it is good to keep both in service for the moment. Although they do have poor reliability, which isn't good. Torpedo bomber wise, we only have 1 in service, so it doesn't matter. We do right now have a float plane scout request in. So in terms of our current float plane scouts, the Norman Canuck has a better max speed than the Caribou B. Slightly worse range than the Caribou Bee and a slightly better bomb load than the Caribou Bee, plus better maneuverability and better toughness. I think the Caribou Bee is going to be obsoleted, and the Norman Canuck will be kept in service. Flying boat-wise, we have the Thunderbird Bee, or the Bombardier Thunderbird Bee, as well as the Fairchild Chipmunk. The Chipmunk can carry a 2,000-pound bomb. The Thunderbird can only carry a 1,500-pound bomb. So in that regard, the Chipmunk definitely has an advantage. Chipmunk or the Thunderbird has better range than the Chipmunk, but not by much. And it looks like the Chipmunk's range at medium and heavy loads is better. Chipmunk has worse maneuverability, but better firepower and better toughness, and a higher max speed. I think that the Thunderbird will be obsoleted. In terms of medium bomber, we have the Bristol Mickleton B versus the Fleet Sabre C. So obviously a C is usually going to be better than a B, but let's just double check. So in terms of speed, it's slightly in the Sabre's favor, but not by much. In terms of range, the Sabre's definitely longer ranged. In terms of firepower, the Sabre has more. In terms of maneuverability, it's the same. In terms of toughness, the Sabre has more, and the Sabre has a better bomb, or Sabre has a slightly better bomb load and can carry torpedoes. Both have good reliability. I think it is prudent to obsolete the Mickleton. And I really should check. Oh yeah, we don't know the reliability of the Fairchild Chipmunk yet, so well. I should check the reliability of the other floatplane Scout too. That would have been a good thing to do. Hold on, give me one moment. Just something in real life I have to mess with briefly. There we go. So yeah, that is our current core. Our current core of aircraft right now, and I think it's good to keep it this way. Once we get a new floatplane Scout, I do want to try to replace the Bristol Dash if I can, with a new torpedo bomber. That being said, though, we do have a really good dive bomber right now, which I'm happy with. If we actually compare all currently in service dive bombers in terms of bomb load, yeah, our medium bomb load's definitely the highest. Maybe like the Wildcat B, and these two could wind up being close to it, but they don't even have the range, it seems. So yeah, Wright D, probably the best dive bomber in the world right now. So that's very good. Right now, okay, so, and I'm just gonna make sure that this works properly, and that this doesn't cause any issues. Because I'm obviously trying to drag this episode out, I typed up a whole thing in WordPad here, which I'm using for some reason. So this is a summary of lessons learned, and the lesson, or the kind of describing the direction I want to take the remainder of my 5-year turn in. So there was some thought that unarmored carriers might have been a problem. This is what I blamed at first for the loss of 4 aircraft carriers. But on further reflection and observation, I did actually go back through the VODs and watch some of the results again. Poor crew quality and poor damage control may have contributed more greatly to the loss of these carriers than them being unarmored. Glorious, first of all, was lost to 3 250-pound bomb hits. The first of which set a fire, which burned down the carrier. Glorious was not conducting additional airstrikes at the time. However, I'm guessing that the fueling of close air patrol aircraft, or CAP, on deck, probably caused a fuel explosion on Glorious, which set the fires out of control. Inflexible suffered an early 800-pound bomb hit. However, the damage from this 800-pound bomb hit was repaired. Well, not repaired, but controlled. However, another 300-pound bomb hit her, and she was at this point in time preparing a strike. She caught on fire, and eventually fueled aircraft started exploding, and she was lost. Incomparable suffered a single 300-pound bomb hit. I forget if this was while she was preparing an airstrike or after she had prepared an airstrike, but fuel aircraft did explode a couple of times in Incomparable, either during the late day or during the night, and she caught on fire and was eventually sunk. Audacious did take a bit more damage before going down. Based on, I didn't get it. I wasn't able to see what size the bombs which hit her were, but based on the aircraft which did hit her, I suspect they were 250-pound or 250-pound bombs. Could have been 600-pound bombs or 500-pound bombs. I don't know, but I suspect they were 250s. However, I think there were 5 of them. Although probably like the first 3 or 4 really did the damage and set the carrier on fire. Successive bomb hits did seem to extend the fire and make it worse. Audacious detached, sailed in a different direction without her fires under control, and was probably going to burn down. However, torpedo bombers came in and struck her and hit her with like 3 or 4 torpedoes, and she just sank. The Abbotsford class light cruiser Kamloops was also lost to fire. And no, she had just fought she just fought and sunk 2 German heavy cruisers. She was in battle with a Surrey class CL, which won. That would have been Camrose. She was serving alongside Camrose. She was serving alongside Camrose. Camrose's turret detonated, and Kamloops. Okay, let me move this back. Kamloops managed to get revenge by finishing off the German heavy cruiser Scharnhorst, which, let me bring Scharnhorst up here. This was, I think, was that their most recent CA? Yeah, that was their most modern CA. So Scharnhorst had already been damaged by Camrose, and Kamloops, which, let me bring up Kamloops here. Kamloops took over the job of sinking Scharnhorst, pummeling the ship with a large amount of 5-inch fire, crippling it. I think Camrose took out some of its turrets, but Kamloops definitely took out more of the turrets too, and destroyers also helped in sinking Scharnhorst. But yeah, she was pretty crippled by Kamloops, and then the destroyers kind of came in and helped finish her off. And then the armored cruiser Hansa was trying to run away, and Kamloops chased down Hansa, engaged in a gunfight, scored a torpedo hit on the heavy cruiser, and was able to pump a number of shots into it. There was a gunfight. Hansa definitely got the worst of the gunfight, and Hansa was sunk due to Kamloops' fire and the fire of destroyers, and Hansa was the last German ship in the battle. The battle ended, and a fire, which was started by Hansa, which was at 1, only at fire level 1 at the end of the battle, consumed and burned down the cruiser Kamloops. So, yes, this is all indicative of very poor damage control, especially in terms of firefighting damage control. However, poor crew quality was also an issue. One of the problems we had was that we had our full fleet in Northern Europe at the start of the war, blockading Germany, trying to blockade them into submission. However, we were going to definitely lose on points, having to decline every single action. And Iceland could not support the fleet we had there. So all the crew quality went to crap, and also having all the ships here allowed Germany to sneak a couple of armored cruisers to the North American East Coast, or heavy cruisers to the North American East Coast, and they managed to blockade it for a couple of turns before I could get ships pulled out. This blockade caused our unrest to go to a high level, and then we started getting mutinies in the fleet in Northern Europe, which further reduced crew quality. This massively reduced crew quality, combined with and if we look at research, our damage control tech's at 17, despite, some of these other levels being higher, like 27, 24, 22, 23. Um, yeah, having subdivision and damage control at 17 right now has probably not helped us. Damage control tech's a little low, and the crew quality was kind of bad at that point in time. That caused very heavy ship losses in the early war. So, current thinking at the time was it was necessary to armor carriers. My current thinking is it might not be necessary to armor carriers, and what needs to be done is base capacity needs to be built up in Iceland and anywhere we plan on fighting in. If we're going to war with the US, that would mean base capacity in British Columbia has to be built up. If we're going to war with Japan, that would mean that base capacity in Kyushu Bay, as well as the Caroline Islands and the Northern Marianas, also needs to be built up further. Carriers did prove to be of somewhat limited use during the war. There were certainly points where carriers worked. There were definitely a couple times where carriers worked, but oftentimes my carriers would deliver an airstrike to the enemy and mostly heavily damage their ships rather than sink them, because the German ships were very close to port, and then my carriers would get hit by a return airstrike and something would burn down from a light bomb hit. So the carriers, deploying them in this sort of offensive war against an enemy's homeland wound up being very risky, and they didn't do quite as much as they were expected to do given their air complements. So, with that, I think it is good to continue a mix of heavy gun-armed ships, such as battleships and battlecruisers, alongside carriers in future production. Light cruisers armed with 5 or 6 inch guns proved to be tough opponents for German heavy cruisers, often scoring many hits in quick succession, which would cripple the German heavy cruiser and render it impotent, where it could then be sunk. This was demonstrated twice. First of all, in that battle with second of all in that battle with Kamloops and Camrose, where both Camrose and Kamloops were sunk, but both German heavy cruisers were also sunk. So 2 light cruisers for 2 heavy cruisers is a good trade. This was also demonstrated in a previous battle where 2 Surrey-class light cruisers managed to sink German heavy cruiser. A second German heavy cruiser did escape that battle. The second German heavy cruiser managed to severely damage both light cruisers and slowed them down sufficiently enough that they couldn't chase, which meant that they just went after the crippled German heavy cruiser at that point. But both, it wasn't Surrey class. It was, Spruce Grove class light cruisers. Both Spruce Grove class light cruisers survived the engagement, though. So, I'm recommending that we should not build any more heavy cruisers. We have one which is 7 months away from completion at the moment. This one will be completed. Do not get me wrong. That heavy cruiser will be finished. I will not be restarting construction on more heavy cruisers. Auto-loading 6-inch cruisers are probably going to be the best anti-surface warfare cruisers at this point in time. Now, that being said, I'm not sure if I will be building these as CLs or CAs, but I'm not building CAs in the sense of 10-inch or 8-inch or 9-inch or 7-inch armed ships. If I'm building CAs, it's basically just a heavy light cruiser where it has more weight devoted to 6-inch guns. There's also thought of continuing to build 5-inch armed light cruisers. However, I do think that Lieutenant Rainbow Slash will be building those himself. Medium-range destroyers struggled to reach battles near the German coast, often having the battle group somewhat devoid of destroyers. In the second to last battle of the war, I should correct that, where the 3 Mackensen-class battlecruisers and Yukon were sunk, the battleship group deployed without destroyers. If we are to continue fighting wars away like this, then it's recommended to have a set of long-range destroyers built to fix this issue. This is something I'm going to start on very quickly here. It's recommended to keep a home fleet active to prevent blockades, as a couple German CAs nearly cost us war at one point. The 24 Nauters, despite being obsolete, will be retained in this role, and that'll allow the faster battleships to deploy overseas. So this will be Alberta, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia, which were recently rebuilt and don't need another one for, another 10 years, or another 9 years at this point. British Columbia, St. Lawrence, Manitoba, Indestructible Canada, New Brunswick, and Appalachian are granted additional freedom to move because of this. Other than that, the rest of the war was basically just luck. Yukon was lost to bad luck. Multiple German warships escaped on good luck. Which was very ridiculous, because there was one CVL we brought down. There's one CVL which was at 28 flotation points left at the end of the battle, and another German battle cruiser which was at 109. If I recall correctly, the CVL had one continuous flooding, and the German battle cruiser had two. If the simulation had run not even an hour longer, these two ships would have each been lost. Now, the German battlecruiser did get sunk during the war. It was just sunk in a later battle, and the CVL, I forget when the CVL was sunk, or if it did get sunk. I think it did. I think it might have gotten... if we look at ships, CVL, I think, was, Elb. So Elb was sunk in a battle. I think that was that sunk in the same battle as Graf Zeppelin and Europa? It might have been. But yeah, that is very, very important directional information to have. We also do have a number of ships which need refits, but some of this I might honestly save for Rainbow to do. However, okay, so let's see. So we need to pull everything out of Northern Europe back to the North American East Coast. Let's just start pulling these guys out. Move ships to the North American East Coast. And then down here we have our destroyers, and right now that's those guys, right? Yeah. Move ship to the North American East Coast. Admittedly, though, we didn't actually have that many destroyers there. I thought we had more. I must have shifted some out for various reasons. So I'm gonna mothball these guys. I'm gonna save some old ships for Rainbow to rebuild. It's just a couple of years, and I want to get started on new construction rather than be stuck in old construction. So now with all that padding out of the way, I can mothball those guys. For now, I'll move Manitoba and Appalachian into the reserve fleet. For now, I will... Let's see, so I'll probably want to mothball the Montreals, as well as her, and then reserve St. John. So in terms of you, I'm going to mothball... Well, I'll mothball that guy, reserve these guys, and wait for stuff to move. You... For now, reserve fleet. You, for now, reserve fleet. Are you guys mothball fleet? And look at that! We actually have money again. So in terms of... these two carriers do need a rebuild. Pretty badly. No, these are ASW destroyers at this point in time, so they will be mothballed. Are these ASW destroyers? No, they're still active fleet destroyers. So... in terms of active fleet destroyers, I think all of these guys will be mothballed, and all of these guys will be reserved. And we barely have any money right now. Let's wait another month to get some more. Alright, so that is everything sorted out for this turn, and we will move on to the next turn. Current suspicion is that I'll probably be ordering battleships. I don't know if I'll be ordering them from America or Germany. Let's see, what do... Not Germany, America or Britain. So if we build a battle cruiser, you know what, hold on. Let's open up the New Brunswick design in Great Britain. Torpedo defense. Great Britain, 4. Or torpedo defense 4 there. And then let's try it in the USA. Okay, so I think British techs are slightly better at the moment. So we can get an electro-optical in Britain. In the USA, can we get... No, we can only get an advanced director. It's definitely better to build ships in Britain right now, I think. Yeah, Britain has better techs than the USA does. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. So we have a number of ships which are getting old. In terms of rebuilds, I think it is going to be prudent to rebuild these two uh, cruisers right now. So that'll take a little hit to our budget. Okay, 4 destroyers have finished their reconstruction. Awesome. Okay, so these are aircraft statistics shot down by the war. So we killed a lot of enemy aircraft using fighters. This is important. I'm gonna alt print screen this and save it to myself. And then yeah, because I just have something in Discord which allows me to do that. So I will do that real quickly, and then I can send that to Rainbow if he wants. Medium anti-aircraft, we did have some significant issues in regards to their operation. But yeah, it's interesting to see that we shot down most of the enemy planes using fighters. Alright, in terms of money, we are definitely in a better situation now that stuff's brought home. So I'm going to start immediately by reserving all of you guys, and then mothballing you two. So let's see, so we have 10. So yeah, the first 5 are mothballed. You guys go to the reserve fleet. You guys should be mothballed. I'll mothball that one. I'll reserve that one. This Spruce Grove needs to be rebuilt. And I think it is, like I know Abbotsford is new, but I think we can just improve the design. Because right now it has heavy anti-aircraft factor of 3. Now, or not 3, 43. So one thing, which I don't think Rainbow figured out, is that if you have multiple different calibers of dual-purpose guns, the heavy anti-aircraft factor will become less efficient. So, watch what happens. I just removed all of our secondary guns, and our heavy anti-aircraft factor improved. Yes, that is a thing. So, what am I going to do with this? Let's put in a catapult and give it an aircraft. As well as see if we can give it torpedo reloads. Yes, we can. And then stick more medium anti-aircraft on it. That should actually improve the ability of this. Why does it have 110 rounds per gun? Oh my god, you're terrible at designing shit. This is gonna take longer to rebuild, but you should have more rounds per gun, like 160 or something. Oh, you need an electro-optical director too. Alright, there we go. It is now basically at its full weight. Oh yeah, we did put torpedo reloads on it, but I removed them. Apparently. Alright, rebuild that. That's not going to cost too much. And then all of you guys can be reserved. And all of you guys can be reserved too. Yeah, okay, look at how much money we have now. So we can certainly start rebuilding stuff, but I want to get new ship designs laid down. So I'm going to start with a battle cruiser, and I'm going to open up the New Brunswick design here to start. So we're going to change this... You know what? No. Yeah, we're going to change this to a battle cruiser. Actually, you know what? I'm going to open up the St. Lawrence design, because it's probably closer to what I want. No, I'll open up the New Brunswick. So New Brunswick design, we'll have an electro-optical, we'll have that number of secondary guns, but we're not going to have a Y turret. Belt will be normal. We will go flat deck on top of belt. We'll have a 6-inch deck. We will go 0 for that. We're going to go up to maybe a 15-inch belt. Turrets, yeah, I'll keep them at that. I'll keep the conning tower at that. Turret tops will be 7. Torpedo defense. Okay, come on. Set it to Great Britain. Set it to 4. And we need to move at 32 knots. These will be quad turrets. Okay, so gun data. She does have a good immunity zone against her own guns. That is fine. I think 15 inches of belt is good, and I want to reclassify her as a battlecruiser. It's just another name. This will actually be named the Iceland, or the battlecruiser Iceland. Yes. All right. So she's using all or nothing. I think her armor is pretty good. We can certainly reduce her size down a bit. I'm thinking about maybe only 18-inch turrets. Doesn't need them quite as, or to be quite as heavy as her successor. However, I will put torpedo reloads on her, give her more torpedo tubes, and I'm gonna get rid of V. I'm gonna put it. Could I give her a Y catapult? Yeah, I can. Or there's also some thought about giving her 2 catapults in the 3 and 4 position, and then giving her like 6 aircraft, so that she can launch a number of float planes on her own. So she will be very expensive to build, looks like, but you know, we're able to build her on less tonnage than a New Brunswick and have a significantly more capable ship. Alright, so she will carry a bit more ammunition too. And then, so structure 2, structure 3, structure 4, structure 5, and structure 6 will be removed, and then I can move the funnels down a bit. We'll still have like a 2-funnel approach on this ship, and right now I'm really only going to be able to afford one of these. My hope is to get 2 of them under construction. You know what? I will do something like this. And then structure 3, what I might do is I might just do like an elevated hangar sort of thing like that. Structure 4 will probably be, you know what, I'll angle it a little more. A little bit out to the side, about here-ish. Kind of cut it back in like that. Structure 5 will then be a little something on top about here. Okay, come on. That wasn't precise enough. Oh, come on. So close. So close. Structure 5. Try it again. Go here. Go there. Go all the way down. I'll make it a little interesting, I suppose. Do something maybe a little more like that shape. And then structure 6 will probably be a bit of structure back here, I'm thinking. Because you do definitely need to keep up with other nations' battle cruiser production. So there we go. This will be the battlecruiser Iceland. Can we see the turret arcs? Yeah, they look like that. She can't fire to the rear, but, you know, it's not terrible. So the purpose of this ship is to be extremely fast and, like, to just be able to chase down stuff. Let's see how much. Do actually save a bit of cost getting rid of unit machinery, but I think I want to have unit machinery. I don't want these ships to slow down. That's going to cost a lot. So, yeah, for now that's going to be the only design I, you know, currently design. terms of cruisers and carriers, the Illustriouses are probably going to need a rebuild soon. All these old cruisers on Foreign Station need a rebuild, but I'm not going to bother with it yet. A lot of our destroyers do. I might just save those for Rainbow. We managed to get hold of construction of Lutzow. I'm going to stop spying on Britain, given that we are planning on building this ship in Britain. And the other thing I want to check is, has Iceland finished construction yet? 1 month left. Okay. So, formation of German medium bombers of the type Heinschel HS-134. So, tension, prestige, no. Budget tension, yeah. I'll take that against Germany. Okay, so now we get a choice of floatplane scout. So, do we have any better ones than the Norman Canuck, which is a few years old? In terms of speed, yes we do. In terms of range, not really. Max speed. Yeah, how did you guys fail to build a better ranged scout? Maybe the Canuck had like a range sort of thing to it, but I'll probably take this one as it does have the same light range. So, same light range at the highest speed. Yeah. Aircraft types, we do need to request for a new aircraft type, and I think what I want right now is a torpedo bomber. So I'm gonna request speed as my first thing for the torpedo bomber, and part of me wants to go range, part of me wants to go reliability, or bomb load. I'll go bomb load. Speed and bomb load on the torpedo bomber, so hopefully we can get medium torpedoes rather than heavy ones, and that would be very good. And we're going to start getting some of these ships back in service here, but right now we need to improve the bases at Iceland. And at the same time, I need to spend more money on improving Kiachu Bay as well. And it would be nice to get the Northern Marianas and the Caroline Islands improved too, so that if we need to fight a war in Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia, we can. Alright, 3 cruisers have finished their reconstruction, 2-phase search, that's good. Okay, so they did that with their new medium bombers, which weren't even in service yet. But yeah, it's rumored to be faster than our fastest medium bomber, which is not great, I will say. Next turn, we'll be able to start construction on one of the Iceland-class battle cruisers. So, I'm going to mothball Montreal, and I'm going to mothball one of the Torontos as well for additional monetary savings. Oh yeah, in terms of carriers, I forgot. Okay, you should be reserved. In terms of carriers, I forgot to do stuff. You should be mothballed, you should be mothballed. You guys should all be reserved. There you go, that saves up a bunch of money. On the other hand, the Illustriouses probably do need a rebuild. I'll rebuild them in a local yard, I think. And then... yeah, we can rebuild them like so. And then just keep the Illustriouses like that. Because we do definitely need those guys rebuilt. Improved 9-inch guns. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to build the battlecruiser Iceland. Oh, God! Tensions with Britain? No! Do not increase. Go with only a gunboat. Oh, improved electro-optical director. Oh, hey! New medium bomber. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. I like seeing that medium bomber continue to get upgraded. Because I didn't want to piss off Britain. And we need tensions with Britain to go down because we just literally ordered a battlecruiser from their yards. Ah, yes. However, we are going to get one of our Furious-class carriers in service here in a turn, as well as the CA Ottawa. So let's go next turn. Ottawa's commissioned and Inflexible's commissioned. Yeah. Piss off Japan. Bruise Fleet Logistics. Oh my god, they improved the right D again! Nicely done. Better max speed, better range, better firepower. And, okay. So, let's see, is this new flying boat worth it? It's probably not better than the Chipmunk. It's got a worse speed, worse range. We don't know what the reliability of the Chipmunk is. It's close. It's close, but it's not quite there. It's got the same bomb load. But I don't think I want it. And now we shall lay down a second Iceland-class battlecruiser. Actually, I'm gonna rename you to Haida. Alright, so battlecruiser Haida has been, or a new battlecruiser Haida, as well as the battlecruiser Iceland, have now been laid down. And Rainbow is not gonna be happy about this. But, you know, it is part of the conclusion I came to, is that, carriers are overrated. Alright, so we're going to get the two Illustriouses back here. Furious is still a couple turns out from completion, and I think it is time to start construction on a potential long-range destroyer. If we go diesel, diesel helps. Yeah, diesel helps with long-range destroyers. If we're on medium range... Oh yeah, we want to go to diesel right now. Screw it. Diesel's given us much better performance. So I'm going to get rid of the W mount and go torpedo reloads. We want long-range destroyers. I'm going to bring them down a knot. I do want probably unit machinery. I'm going to get rid of their X turret. And you know what? I'm going to bring these down to 4-inch guns with an advanced director. More ammunition. Maybe we go normal. You know what? We'll go speed. And this will allow me to build them slightly smaller. So yeah, hopefully these should be somewhat cheaper. If we went oil... Okay, so let's see. So diesel's more expensive. If we go oil... and that is more expensive. So yeah, it's better to go diesel at this point. I'll keep him at 2200. Just to make sure. Oh yeah, it might be good to get a forward ASW mortar on them too, so that they can help protect the fleet. So this will be a long-range destroyer, which can actually serve in important theaters. So okay, so those guys finished their reconstructions now, and I'm going to start by ordering a class of 4 of these guys. So in terms of reconstructed ships, we have the Illustriouses, which will immediately be mothballed. And hey, we have one fun now. CA Ottawa will be moved to the reserve fleet. In terms of mothballed, heavy cruiser, right now we have 7, so yeah, 3 should be mothballed. We probably do need more subs, and yeah, we'll just leave some ships for him to rebuild. And Furious is commissioned, cool. And that'll be a lot of these old destroyers. So now that we have Furious in service, she's going to be reserved immediately. One of the Indomitables is going to be mothballed. And rather than work on any new carriers, well, first of all, I'm going to build 4 more destroyers. And I'm going to start on designing a new light cruiser. So this will be built in a local yard, I think. So we're going to go up to 10,000 tons. Speed will be probably 32 knots. Yeah, going diesel is better at this point. Autoloader, we'll go autoloader dual purpose. Screw it. Get rid of the forward tube. Can we go up to 12,000 tons? Yeah, we can. Just a new name. Dual purpose mountings. Okay, so we can't do dual purpose for those turrets. And then we can get a maybe like a not a C. Let's try an L triple. Oh, I know. Would it be a C triple? Would be best. Yeah, C triple will be fine. Unit machinery would be good. I know, what did I want to name these? I don't want to name them Delta. I wanted... We'll name it the Camrose class at... No. We'll name it the Kamloops class after the one which sank. I'll give it an additional set of secondary guns, but I think this will be a good design. There's some thought about up-armoring the turrets, maybe to 4 inches. Maybe getting the belt a little higher to like 2. Yeah, okay. And then we will incline the belt a bit. Actually, we need more ammunition. Like 180 rounds and... Okay, let's get the deck down to 1.5. Get more medium anti-aircraft guns on it. And then just completely redesign how the superstructure looks. Structure 1 will be taken like this. How many carry... Okay, air capacity of 2 is fine. I'll reduce the mass down a little bit. And then in terms of funnels, let's get rid of these guys. Well, let's just move this funnel down here. In terms of the catapult, I'm going to remove it from the Q position and put it in the V instead. And then we can have just 2 funnels kind of mounted here and here. And then we can do a bit of a superstructure, starting probably about here, going out to the side. Let's go around here, and bring it in a little bit. Like so. Structure 3 will probably be like the lower levels of a bridge. Okay, come on. Seriously, game, cooperate. I need to zoom in. And then we can do something like that. So that's structure 3. Structure 4 will be kind of more the upper levels of a bridge here. Structure 5 will probably be something like some platform mounted back here. And then structure 6 can be another platform mounted about here. So yeah, this should be a very, very deadly CL. And insufficient space for anti-aircraft guns or other topside equipment. There we go. And you know what? I'll increase the number of medium anti-aircraft guns. Alright, so that'll be our new light cruiser class, and now we have a bunch of new destroyers being built. And I bet you Rainbow will build more carriers. But I did build 2 Furious class carriers, so that's kind of helped half make up our losses. German government, we have no need for those, and then... Oh hey, now we get torque protection 4 on our own ship, so build the light cruiser Kamloops. And I want to name a ship after, what is it? Reykjavik. I'll have to see what we're at towards the end of 1949. I'll sell it, yeah, I need money. New torpedo bomber prototypes are ready for evaluation. Damn it. Alright, so they're definitely faster and longer ranged. So, that's good. That one's a nice Well, you know what? This one has better range and better speed. Toughness is better. I think this one might be best, thinking about it now. Like, I know I went for speed first with that, but I'll go for maybe that one. But I'm not completely sure it'll beat the dash. Alright, so we're going to get Abbotsford, or the second Abbotsford in here. Did some Abbotsfords get scrapped? Because Abbotsford was Abbotsford never built? Yeah, because it was... Why do we not have an Abbotsford? Should be the Coquit, or the Coquit, what is it? Whatever class it is. Coquitlam class. We have a number of obsolete destroyers and corvettes, which are being saved for him, not me. Okay, we're only 600 down. Okay. I'll take the hit. I'll take that small tension hit. I'm going to decrease spying on the USA, though. I don't want to go to war with them. Aircraft types. So we got a new torpedo bomber under development. Right now, our dive bomber is really good, so we don't want to lose it. Our medium bomber is really good. Our fighter probably does need more work. So fighter, I'm going to go firepower and then speed. Still, get a new fighter in service. It's probably a good idea to get a new medium bomber. New almanac. You know what? I'll allow an independent Cameroon. I'll sell that to the US. Skip bombers. Oh my god, they keep developing it further! I love you, de Havilland! Oh, this has been like the best thing ever. It's at the F variant now. So we lost Cameroon, which, yeah, I guess wasn't too vital. I want to hold on to the Marianas, I want to hold on to Tsingtao, and I want to hold on to Iceland. But yeah, I'll let Cameroon be free. I'm not a evil dictator. Yeah, I'll sell it to the US. Screw it, I don't want to fight the US. And tensions have gone a little bit high with them. I want tensions to go higher with Japan and Russia and them. Okay, airdrop torpedoes will run patterns, that's cool. So, it's June 1949. Oh wait, we need to keep building up our bases more, right? Improve Iceland again. Improve Kiachu Bay again. Improve Northern Marianas again. And improve Caroline Islands again. Alright. We're a few months out. Okay, Japan's pissed at us. Somewhat. France is increasing in tensions. I don't like France very much. So that helps. Good news is we're only 4 months away from getting more destroyers. And we're making money. So I'm going to order another Kamloops class. And this one will be named after Reykjavik. So Reykjavik. I'm going to unpause my stream and then pause it at this very moment so that I can look on my other monitor and see how it's spelled. So I just have that that moment of the stream open. So let's build another Kamloops class and call it Reykjavik. Is that correct? Yes, it is. And that gives us 2 of these new light cruisers. September of 1949, oil's been discovered in South Africa. We'll take the cruiser. And that increases tensions across the board, mostly with Russia. Mostly not with Japan, which is kind of moderately surprising. October 1949, increased naval spending. Okay, so in terms of new fighters, better bomb load, but that's not important. Speed and firepower. Yes! Oh, finally! We're getting good fighters. Firepower has massively increased from our 1947 design. So now we can get, 8 or 7 firepower. So 7 firepower is a little bit better speed. This one actually has the best maneuverability. Range is decent, speed is decent. I think that's the best balance. And some of these new destroyers will enter service. And let's build a 5-inch armed class, maybe, of long-range destroyers. And this one will instead have single turrets of 5-inch guns, which might allow for another torpedo mount. No, it doesn't. Yeah, okay. Single 5-inch turrets, dual purpose. What if we did like FG? Nope, can't fit that. Could we go back up to 35 knots? No, not really. Although I do have to remove one of those, so yeah, we might be able to get 35 knots out of this thing. Or alternatively, just keep it at 34 and increase or decrease the tonnage somewhat down to like this. So it probably has less of a, or definitely has less of a heavy anti-aircraft factor, but as a destroyer, it's probably a lot better. So we'll start laying these guys down, and okay, and now we're probably going to go to war with Russia. Increase spying on Japan. Alright, doctrine. Start gunnery training. And start activating some of our warships again. Get New Brunswick active, or get the 2 New Brunswicks active. And honestly, get Audacious and Inconstant active for the moment. Pull these guys out of the reserve fleet, or out of the mothball fleet. At least pull these guys into the reserve fleet, and pull, let's see, you into the active, 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 and then, you into the reserve, you into the reserve. We're in the early stages of this. And we're going to get a bunch of destroyers here, which should help with the budgetary situation. However, air groups wise, so in the reserve force, so let's see, so you guys were definitely all on one of those carriers. Cool. You guys were on one of the light carriers. Move you to Montrose. You guys were all on one of the 60 aircraft carriers, Illustrious. And then the airbase at Reykjavik here. First of all, I'm going to order that Reykjavik expands again. Oh, it's war with Russia, though. Probably want to avoid that. But just expand the base. I'm not going to add planes to it yet. Aircraft types, request proposals for a new aircraft. So we did get a new fighter. Torpedo bomber wise, I think we're fine. Let's see, floatplane scout. Flying boat's the oldest, so flying boat we need. I'm going to go speed and range on it. And one more turn. Rising prosperity leads to increasing costs for maintaining ships. Our destroyers are commissioned. Oh, hey! Better torpedo bomber, that's good. Better max speed, better range. Yeah, let's take it. And tensions with Russia have just declined. Stop the training. And it's January, so I now have to pass the turn off. So I will de-ready stuff here. All planes just move to reserve. because for some stupid reason it's making me do this all manually now. And then, yeah, we'll call it here. We'll pass the turn off. I'll tell him to not piss off Britain. And that he's probably going to be mad at me. Alright. Alright, so that's all the air units moved back to reserve, and let's just de-ready the fleet. You guys mothball. You reserve. You guys reserve. And you guys for now reserve. So he has some money to play with for new destroyers building, and I'm gonna let him have the money to play with. Just gonna tell him keep expanding these bases, and I will increase spying on Japan to medium and pretend it was there for a while. And yeah, all those bases are expanding. One thing I will probably do before I go is I will probably also make sure that Kachu Bay's airbase expands. Our airbase, Tsingtao. That's our ship base, Tsingtao. Where's airbase, Tsingtao? Does Tsingtao not have an airbase? Wow, they don't have an airbase. Build fortification. Airbase. We have one, apparently. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Expand that base. Yeah, I thought we had one. I removed aircraft from it early in this game. Of course we have one. Early in this turn. YouTube people are probably yelling at me. That is assuming YouTube people are watching this. Yeah. Alright, so these carriers will be put back on mothball service. These guys will be moved back to the mothball fleet. We do not need a high state of readiness at the moment. I haven't built up dock size anymore. And yeah, he has 2,317 per month to play with. There's some thoughts about me trying to lay down a third Kamloops class, though, instead. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll let him have the money, but if he wants to lay down a third Kamloops class, that is fine with me. So I will save this. Thank you all who watched. I will be talking to him shortly about handing the turn over, and it's kind of a messy situation, but it's not quite as bad as it seems, you know. And at least now we have St. John and Ottawa, too, in terms of heavy cruisers. Ottawa's probably a little bit better. But yeah, thank you everyone who watched. Everyone who watched on Twitch, my Discord and YouTube links are down below. And for anyone watching on YouTube, my Twitch and Discord links are down below in case you like the content and would like to join either or would like to watch my streams. Right now, the YouTube is mostly me just uploading VODs, usually unedited at this point. Eventually, I do want to get to proper YouTube videos, but you know, right now that's just Planet Coaster point of views. So yeah, I will see you then. Next time will probably be China, although I probably don't want to stream tomorrow or the next day. I probably want to have a couple day break from streaming now that I've done one of these streams, you know, 3 days in a row. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll be out now, I guess, and I'll be back sometime later. And I hope some of you guys are back later. So yeah, bye! Hey guys. Oh crap, encoder overloaded. Okay, it's apparently no longer overloaded. And hopefully, you know, only having that screen there helped. Yeah, hey guys. I guess this is YouTube exclusive content right here. I completely forgot to play with research priorities in the stream. I was fully intending on doing it, and I forgot. So let's do that real quickly. Before I give him the turn, I can do it here. So shipboard aircraft operation, I think that's good on medium. Missile technology, don't really want that on high. Missiles aren't that great yet. Skip. I'll keep naval aviation heavier than air like that. Radar and electronic should definitely be high. Anti-aircraft artillery, probably put that on high. Fleet tactics is probably more worth a medium at this point. Um, yeah, all these on medium I'm fine with, especially now that we've gotten such good technology in them. We need subdivision and damage control on high. There's some thought about putting machinery development on low since we have such good machinery, and I think honestly that should be on low as well. Other than that, I think this is good. So yeah, there we go. That's a little bit of bonus content at the end of the video for you guys on YouTube because I completely forgot to do this on stream, and I'm just gonna real quickly edit it together. So yeah, I will see you then. Thank you all who watched on YouTube and the before stuff in the outro applied since this is technically post-outro. So yeah then. Bye!